Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my deep personal respects to their elders, past and present. And I also acknowledge Brigadier Robert Marsh, representing the Governor-General, Her Excellency Linda Dessau, the Governor of Victoria, and Mr Tony Howard, to the Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Leader of the Opposition Anthony Albanese, to the Leader of the State Opposition Matthew Guy, to my ministerial and parliamentary colleagues, many other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My grandfather, a devout Catholic and a train driver, absolutely loved Bert Newton. I'm certain it was his Catholicism that sealed the deal. He would often speak to me about the gift of faith. Bert Newton had that gift, and I can't help but think that he'd be so honoured to be farewelled with a full Requiem Mass here at St Patrick's Cathedral. So on your behalf, can I thank you, Your Grace, Archbishop Comensoli and Father Werner, for having us here today in this very, very special place. Bert Newton was a great entertainer, and life itself was his stage. He was always there, omnipresent, on our screens and in our homes. To Australia, Bert wasn't just a man on a screen or an actor on a stage. He was someone we all felt we knew. Like a fireplace on a cold night, families would gather around their TV sets, drawn in by Bert's warmth and sustained by his inviting ease. Bert was more than talent. He was trust. His story is the story of Australian television. And while he was first beamed into our homes in black and white, Bert was colour TV long before the technology arrived. He had a supreme talent, a gift indeed. And when things went off script, when a show went off the rails, Bert thrived. He was in his element, witty, clever, cheeky. A consummate professional who mastered every medium with exquisite comic timing, research and rehearsal, discipline and spontaneity. A master of his craft, but true to himself at the same time. A highly skilled, genuine and authentic entertainer, one people respected and revered. He was a pioneer, an icon, a legend. But Bert's story is so much more. A shy working class kid from no apologies and no prisoners, North Fitzroy, who loved trams and going to the pictures. His life, however, changed in June of 1950 when the 7th Brunswick Boy Scouts took him to see his very first live radio broadcast of a show called Peter's Pals. When Bert walked into the 3XY Spring Street studios, he was just trying to get his Scouts badge. By the time he'd left, he'd found his calling. Not his love, we'll talk about that in a moment, but his calling. Every night for 6 months, Bert would come back to 3XY, watching on in awe. Eventually, he found himself on stage, singing 4 verses of a song he barely knew. It was Bert's big break. That night at 3XY set in motion the birth of a star and forever changed the trajectory of Australian entertainment. While his career spanned television, radio and stage, Bert dedicated a lifetime to mentoring others, sharing his wisdom and experience behind the scenes. And to this day, his legacy endures in the young actors, broadcasters and entertainers he helped along the way. But ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows that when we think and speak of Bert Newton, we are really reflecting on a duo, a double act. Bert's partnership with Paddy was everything. Both formidable talents, both deeply in love. Theirs is a story for the ages. Christmas 1974, and Bert flies from Melbourne to LA and eventually on to New York to board a cruise ship, unannounced and unprepared. He's travelling with the hope that the woman he loves but hasn't seen for quite some time will accept his proposal of marriage. And during a rainstorm in the Caribbean on Australia Day 1974, she did just that. Bert and Patty were partners in every way. Husband and wife, parents and grandparents, best friends, entertainers, performers and soulmates. I do hope that the heartfelt tributes and the real sense of loss felt by so many across our state and our nation has been some small comfort to you, Patty, and your family. Stars come and go. TV shows are made and forgotten. And as time passes on, legends fade away. But not Bert. He was a boy from North Fitzroy who made it all the way to the top. He was a man of unmatched talent. He found a love that lasted nearly 5 decades. And he led a life that was full. He entertained his audience because he respected his audience. He never forgot where he came from, and he lived his values. Compassion and kindness, generosity and empathy. Always working to lift those around him to new heights. Always so giving and so generous. Never for acclaim or fuss or fanfare. On behalf of all Victorians, I offer sincere condolences to Patty and the Newton family. We are all richer for his life and poorer for his passing. Still, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can be certain that his credits will roll on and on and on. Vale, Bert Newton.